12 intoxicating smelling affordable fragrances coming up. Hello friends, I'm George, the nice medic gentleman. Welcome back to the channel guys, I hope that all of you are doing well. It's time for your daily dose of some fragrance content, and for today I have lined up 12 fragrances that in my opinion are affordable and smell very intoxicated. And I'm going to start things off strongly with a fragrance from the brand of Raihan, which is called Raihan Elixir. Now I might be mistaken, but I think this is the first ever clone of Jean Paul Gaultier Elixir to hit the markets, if not the very first, one of the very first clones of Jean Paul Gaultier's LOM Elixir to hit the markets, and Raihan have done a really nice job with the Elixir. Now it doesn't feel exactly like a straight up clone, this feels slightly different, having a little bit of a darker, slightly more sort of a spicy and earthy take on the original scent. Just lacks a bit of the heavy sweetness of the original. This, to my nose, has a little bit stronger cardamom note compared to the original, and lacks a little bit of the sweetness, feeling a little bit more spicy, maybe a hint more woody compared to to LOM Elixir. But other than that, this smells really nice. The whole scent profile is absolutely fantastic. It's a compliment getter and just works great in cold weather. My second suggestion comes from the brand of Zimaya, and it's called Sharaf Blend. And to this day, this remains one of my most favorite Zimaya fragrances and one of the best fragrances that this brand offers. Zimaya is a budget-orientated sub-brand of Afnan, and they have some real gems, and Sharaf Blend is one of those. This is a clone of Kilian's Angel Share, but to me it feels like a twist between Angel Share and Lattafa Alhambra. Lacks a bit of the boozy vibe of the strength of the boozy note of Kilian's Angel Share. This has the boozy note slightly toned down. It feels maybe a hint more spicy compared to the original fragrance, slightly sweeter, but in there smells very similar to Angel Share, and all around, it carries the spirit of Angel Share. Offers fantastic quality, fantastic performance, has really nice presentation. The bottle design is really nice, and this is all around a great offering from the brand of Zimaya. My next two suggestions will be from the brand of Paris Corner, and the first one is part of the autobiography line, and it's called Supreme Gold. And this fragrance is heavily inspired by Parfum de Marly's Herod. Smells very similar to Herod. Herod is one of the best known fragrances from the brand of Parfums de Marly, and autobiography Supreme Gold actually smells very similar. It has that sweet tobacco note that has some vanillic sweetness. You get some spiciness, a hint of incense, some woodiness. All around smells very classy, smells very intoxicated and very sexy in my opinion. It's supposedly a unisex fragrance, but to my nose this leans to the masculine side. The quality here is very nice. Also it has pretty decent performance, will get you very close to the original scent, and all that for a very affordable price. I really like the bottle design, but the only thing that I don't like about this fragrance is the fact that you can only get it in a 65 ml bottle size, which is a bit of a shame in my opinion. And my second Paris Corner suggestion is called Frenetic Delicious. This is a clone of Dior's Fef Delicious, and it's another very nicely done fragrance. This one being very gourmand, very sweet, so having some fruity sweetness. There's a nice cherry note in here. You get quite a lot of chocolate sweetness, vanillic sweetness, caramel sweetness. Feels kind of dark a little bit, has a cacao note in here. A very gourmand fragrance that smells absolutely fantastic in the air, just like the original fragrance does. Smells pretty similar to the original fragrance, offers very nice quality, offers very good performance. All around a great cold weather scent, a great cold weather nighttime scent in my opinion. Perfectly unisex. You get a magnetic cap, all around a great offering from the brand of Paris Corner. It smells really intoxicating in my opinion, and that's why I've included it in today's video. Now moving on to a few suggestions from the brand of Lattafa. The first one is part of the Qaa'ed line, and it's called Qaa'ed Intense. And I really like the smell of Qaa'ed Intense. This is a clone of Givenchy Gentleman Reserve Privé, but also feels like a slight mix between Reserve Privé and Dior Homme Intense as well. Has a very powdery iris note, but also feels quite a bit sweet. There's quite a bit of vanillic sweetness in here. There's a hint of booziness. You get some chestnut. You get some tobacco as well. Very classy, a very elegant smell. That's a scent that smells really, really intoxicating in my opinion. The quality here is superb, the performance is superb. Now, I like to mention this fragrance quite often because I think it really deserves a lot of attention. Some people have mentioned in the comment section that this has supposedly been discontinued, but I've seen it pop up here and there on some websites across Europe again, so probably that those were just rumors, and I'm very happy about that because I really do think that Qaa'ed Intense is a great offering from Lattafa, and more people should have the chance to actually enjoy it. My next suggestion from the brand of Lattafa is part of the Al Nashama line, and it's called simply Lattafa Al Nashama, and this one is a clone of Initial's Paragon, and it's another very nicely done clone of the original scent. Oh boy, I really like the way that this smells. It's intoxicating, but in a slightly different way compared to everything else that I've showed you so far. This is quite a sweet fragrance, but it has a lot of fruity sweetness. There's a very juicy plum note in this fragrance that I absolutely love. You get some spices, you get some ouds as well, but the mix of the ouds and that very sweet, juicy plum note is really something else. It smells very, very similar to the original fragrance, offers very nice quality and very nice performance, and it's perfectly unisex in my opinion. I can definitely say that pretty much everybody out there can rock this one, and it's a really, really lovely scent. And my last suggestion from the brand of Lattafa is part of the Pride line, and it's called Shuyukh Gold. Another one of my favorite Lattafa fragrances, and I absolutely love this one. This is a clone of Rosendo's Mateu number 5, and I'm a huge fan of the original fragrance, and I'm a really big fan of Shuyukh Gold. Lattafa have done an absolutely fantastic job with their offering. It smells very similar to the original fragrance, relying on a lot of vanillic sweetness. You get a very strong dose of some suede leather. You also get quite a bit of incense as well, and it makes for this very sexy, very dark combination of those three main notes. Smells absolutely classy. It's a beastly performer, lasts for a very long time, pretty much on par with the original fragrance. Also tends to project really, really nicely, and this is another great scent for cold weather, especially for cold weather nights. All around great quality from Lattafa, and to this day this remains one of my most favorite Lattafa fragrances. Now moving on to something from the brand of Maison Alhambra, which is technically still Lattafa, and this one is called Cassius, and again I'm talking about one of my most favorite scents from this brand from Maison Alhambra. Cassius is a very nice clone of Parfum de Marly's Carlisle. Smells very, very similar to the original fragrance. It's like a slightly lighter take on the original scent, especially in the opening. There are a few minor differences. The original has this quite dark and earthy opening, which Cassius misses, and probably for some people that may be a good thing, because I know that the opening of Carlisle can be a bit challenging. Cassius feels a little bit rougher and sharper in the opening, but also feels quite a bit sweeter and maybe more wearable for most people. On the dry down actually gets very close to Carlisle. You get the the mix of some boozy note, some tobacco, you get some vanillic sweetness, some spices and some ouds, a hint of a rose note as well. All around a very, very classy scent, both the original and the offering from Maison Alhambra. And I'm going to finish off this video with a few offerings from the brand of Fragrance World. The first one is actually going to be sold under French Avenue, which is still technically Fragrance World. It's called After Effect, and this one is a clone of Initial's Side Effect, and it's a absolutely fantastic dark scent that I really like a lot. It's boozy, it's sweet, it's spicy, it's woody, and that pretty much sums up the whole scent, but it's done very, very nicely. Very similar to the original fragrance, very dark, very sexy, and a sophisticated scent. Feels a little bit rougher and slightly more aggressive in the opening compared to the original, which is to be expected, but other than that gets the the scent profile of a Side Effect nailed almost completely perfectly. Has beastly performance, beastly projection, and all around the quality here is top notch. Again, keep in mind that some bottles come with very weak sprayers, so you have to overspray a little bit to get the needed performance, because initially I was quite disappointed by the performance, but at some point I realized that it was down to the actual sprayer because it was not applying enough juice out. Other than that, though, quality is great. The next one from Fragrance World is called Supreme LOM Extreme, part of the Supreme LOM line, and as you can probably guess, this is a clone of Guerlain's LOM Ideal Extreme. Bottle-wise very similar to the original fragrance, scent-wise also quite similar, although not identical. And this fragrance is also very nice, smells very masculine, very classy and very intoxicating. Opens up a little bit bright and fresh, but then turns into this very interesting scent of, that has quite a bit of a nutty vibe because of a strong almond note. I also pick up a hint of some booziness, you get some tobacco, you get some vanillic sweetness, some fruity sweetness, also a nice dose of a leather undertone inside here. All around, again, a very classy, very masculine fragrance that has a bit of a mature vibe and has a bit of an old school feel to it, but it's done really nicely and it's been a great find for me personally, at least. Offers good performance, decent, nothing spectacular, but not disappointing either, and all that for a very affordable price. Yet another great offering from the brand of Fragrance World is called Invictus Victory Elixir, and this, as you can probably guess, is a clone of Paco Rabanne's Invictus Victory Elixir, and it's done superbly well. Very similar to the original fragrance. For some reason, there are quite a few good clones of Invictus scents. Maybe they're easy to clone, I don't know why, because Maison Alhambra also have some great clones of Paco Rabanne fragrances, Fragrance World also, and Invictus Victorious Elixir, I think it's the full name of the fragrance, is really one of those very best clones that you can actually get. Smells very similar to the original fragrance, very sweet, very mass appealing, very sexy, very modern, very youthful. A great fragrance for the cold weather, great fragrance for cold weather nights, very intoxicating, it's a compliment getter, it lasts for a long time, has really nice quality, and the best thing out of all is that it's very affordable, so it has a place in today's list. And I'm going to end up this video with my last Fragrance World suggestion, which is called Jack of Clubs, and this to this day remains one of my most favorite Fragrance World scents that I have in my collection. This is a clone with a slight twist of YSL's La Nuit de l'Homme Blue Electric, but also can serve as alternative to the OG YSL La Nuit de l'Homme as well. Feels slightly fresher than the OG La Nuit de l'Homme, similar to what you get out of Blue Electric, but at the same time feels a little bit sweeter, lacks a bit of that freshness up top that you get out of the ginger note from the original fragrance. This is slightly less fresh, slightly more ambery sweet, but in the air smells absolutely fantastic. Again, another very classy scent that smells super sexy and can work as a great date night scent. Offers very interesting packaging, you get a pack of cards included into the whole packaging, and all around, again, one of the best things that you can, one of the best scents that you can get out of Fragrance World currently. So, Jack of Clubs from Fragrance World is my last suggestion. So guys, in today's video I showed you 12 intoxicating smelling affordable fragrances. I hope that you found this video interesting to watch. If you did, give it a like, and I also hope that you're going to join me tomorrow for your daily dose of some fragrance content. And until then, stay safe and bye bye.